Morph Map. Let's go. Let's go. Morph Map, making moves, making morphs. Lock the morphs, track the traits, map the path. Mix them, match them, mastermind the morph flow. Mapping bloodlines, making clutches grow. Morph Map, making moves, making morphs. Lock the morphs, track the traits, map the path. Mix them, match them, mastermind the morph flow. Mapping bloodlines, making clutches grow. Morph Map.
Hey, we are live.
Hey. Episode.
Good evening.
5? Episode 5.
Good evening.
4, 3. Good evening. What episode are we on now?
Oh my God, I don't know. 6?
6?
5 or 6?
Okay.
5 or 6, one
All
of the two.
All right. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Either way, moving right along.
Yes.
Excited to have talk about some Scrambler stuff tonight. I know that's like a big thing for you too, being as much as you love anything orange. So
Yes. Well, and Scrambler. I mean,
yes,
I have my own little collection of Scrambler too.
Yeah, you do have Scrambler. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
So it'll be fun. There's definitely a lot of questions. I talked to people ahead of time, and I feel like this is one of the ones that the people have the most hard time identifying. So hopefully we can get some good questions for Mark and get some answers too. So
Yeah, right.
you want to bring them out?
Yeah. Well, you want to run the ads first?
Do we run ads? I thought we wrote ads in the middle. Am I wrong?
That's a sponsor video.
Oh, let's do it then. Go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
No, we just ran the. You know what? You're right. I apologize. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. I'm going to be honest with you. So
Are you really?
Let me
Okay.
stop for a second. Okay. Collect my
Okay,
head here.
yeah.
We just ran the intro. That was the intro.
I was like, hold on,
Was-
run the ads. I'm like, wait, okay, sure.
Whew. All right. I got it.
All right, Brian, you're good. Stay between
We're going to
the
bring
lines.
Mark out now.
Let's do it. Let's talk to Mark.
Good evening.
Hey, Mark.
I'm
You
just
can't hear us?
I'm just screwing
Oh.
with you. Okay, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You know,
Like seriously,
I
like
just-
Brian's already nervous. You're gonna
yeah,
make
Brian's
him,
like,
fall out.
oh my God, we can't hear him.
What's gonna
Oh.
fall now?
Don't make
thank
me
you
start
for
sweating,
joining us
man.
tonight. He's already sweating.
Why are you nervous, Brian?
Because I'm actually a really big fan of your work.
Cool. Well, thank
He's
you.
fanboying. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, it's good
Yep.
stuff.
you know,
Very big
they
fan of your
say
work.
they say you shouldn't meet your heroes.
Good
So
to
the
see
night
you.
is young, Brian.
Yes, it is.
Have you ever met any of your heroes, Brian?
In real life,
Yeah.
I can't say that I don't know yet. That's a really tough question for me.
Oh.
Interesting.
I'm a pretty introverted person, so it's like,
All right.
So I got that going for me.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. What about you, Thomi?
I'm not an idolizer. It's just
Okay,
not part
good.
of. It's not something I do. So
And
I can respect. I respect people, but I don't idolize them.
Good for you. Yeah,
That's
Yeah,
kind of
that's
how I
smart.
roll.
that's smart.
Well, the higher you hold somebody on the pedestal, the farther they can fall.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
hence the expression, you shouldn't meet your heroes. And
Exactly.
I've talked to a lot of people that have had access to their heroes,
Mhm.
and I'm talking like A-list celebrity type meetings. And
Yeah.
I asked him, I said, what's it like? And how many are what you expect and how many are not? And he says it's about 50-50 down the,
Yeah.
So
Human's going to human.
yeah, they are.
For sure.
Anyway,
Well,
sorry to take you off topic.
No, it's fine. It's
No,
a
that's
good
fine.
time. It's nothing wrong with that. But we do really appreciate you taking time to come out and talk about Scrambler tonight. I know you have been on quite a few shows talking about it, so
Mhm.
you probably have your script already down. So hopefully we have some new questions, and find out some new stuff. So,
Hmm.
generally we like to ask if you are, you're the person who actually originated the gene. So if you could tell us a little bit about the background, and maybe we could pop up the picture of the original. The original one's the Fire Boy, is that correct?
Yeah, the
Okay.
original, that's not the original.
No, it's the
That
Fire, correct?
that's a product, byproduct. The original one that I got was the Super
Can't
Orange
find it.
Dream Fire.
I think it's one
Can you
more.
find it, Brian? One more.
Yeah.
There we go.
This guy here, it's just the one on the left, not the one on the right. This is just the
Yeah.
same combo. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
Mhm.
it's the one on the left. So okay, Orange Dream came out. I was
Mhm.
really good friends with Oz. Still am. He's one of my best friends. And we got talking about the Orange Dream, and I bought one of the original Orange Dreams from him, a very orange Dream.
Mhm.
And at that point, the Super hadn't been produced yet. And
Okay.
then he produced Super Orange Dreams, and that was a year after I had bought the Orange Dream. So I said to him, "Well, I'd really like to get a Super from you," and they weren't cheap. I think they were
Of
about
course not.
12,000,
Mhm.
US at the
Mhm.
time. And I said, "Okay, yeah, I want one." So he sent me Super Orange Dream Fire. Um,
Mhm.
and that's what I thought it was, just a Super Orange Dream Fire. Now,
Yeah.
nobody knew what Super Orange Dreams were gonna look like, right?
Right.
They just presume, okay, yeah, that's what Super Orange Dream does. So I started
Right.
breeding it and producing just crazy, looking snakes. And
Okay.
I thought, oh, great, this is what the Super Orange Dream does. And it just
Mhm.
kept on escalating. The more things I bred it into, the more I saw something that I wasn't seeing in other Super Orange Dreams from other
Okay. Okay.
people.
All
So
right.
then when I crossed it with different genes like calico, spider, it just completely, changed the pattern. The intensity, the colors increased, and what was interesting is they stayed intense.
Mhm.
It was one of
Okay.
the one of the few ball pythons that didn't, fade out in color as it aged.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I was then starting to see, 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds that were, like, mind-boggling as far as the color goes. And,
Mhm.
then when I started, breeding it to, into calico, that's when and into piebald. So,
Okay.
piebald was your typical, white snake with the patches with the vertical lines going down the back. That's all it
Right.
was. And
Yeah.
that was very, very standard piebald. Well, all of a sudden I started producing piebalds that were all pattern, very,
Mhm.
very low white, and the
Mhm.
pattern was completely
Mm.
scrambled.
Okay.
And not only were they scrambled, but it was very clean. So I remember I had uh, an orange ghost that was het
Mhm.
pied. And I looked at the orange ghost and it was incredibly bright and incredibly clean. And then I
Mhm.
had uh, what I thought were Super Orange Dream piebalds that ended up being scramblers because their pattern was all scrambled out. And they also ended up being not Super Orange Dream. They were just
Okay.
Orange Dream. The reason I thought they were Super Orange Dream is because they were so bright. And again, that was the scrambler effect. Okay.
Right, because the
So,
base gene has some color to it.
yes. Well,
Mhm.
the base gene honestly isn't something that, is gonna pop out, in a collection. I mean, there's a
Mhm.
lot of base genes that have the same color per se. So as I started consistently doing this, I noticed, especially what it was doing to pieds, and I showed my wife, and I said, "What do you think about this?" And she said, "Wow, it really scrambles the pattern up, doesn't it?" And I said, "Well, that's a good name." So we
Yeah.
decided to call it scrambled eggs. And
Okay.
no, I'm just kidding.
I was
And
like, okay. I
no,
was like, sure. I mean, I'll go along with it. There's all
no,
kinds of names out there.
yeah, no. So we called it a scrambler. Now there was another guy that I had sold the snake to,
Hmm.
Matt Pistone,
Mm.
and he's from Canada. And I said, "Look, I want you to keep an eye on what you produce from this snake because I think there's an extra gene in here." And so we communicated, and on the same day, we hatched out a clutch of super orange dream piebalds,
Hmm.
and the babies were almost identical, but he had it
Okay.
from his clutch, I had it from my clutch. So
Right.
if you look at the picture I sent you of the Super Orange Dream Hypo Piebald Super Scrambler,
Oh, I
that
think,
was
yeah.
that that was the snake that I hatched out, that right there, right? So
There it is.
that is, a piebald, and there's
Yeah.
very, very little white, and as you can see, it completely scrambled everything. I have since
Yeah.
proved that everything I've bred it to has produced scramblers.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was kind of the icing on the cake right there. And then um, I saw Chris had a snake that he called El Diablo or something like that. He was
Hmm.
popping out some pretty
Yeah.
crazy stuff.
Yep.
So I contacted Chris and I said, "Chris, can you give me a history on that male, where it came from, and this and that?" And he got it. Hey, Jamie. He got it from uh, Barnhart.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
okay, and it had
One
black
of the
past.
questions in my notes, actually, if that's where
Yeah,
his came from.
yeah, he
Yeah.
got his from Barnhart, and Barnhart again was very good friends with Oz. I think the last time Oz had a booth at Tinley, he did it with Tom Barnhart.
Okay.
So he ended up getting his stuff from Barnhart, and unbeknownst to Barnhart, he had the scrambler gene. So when I saw people posting snakes that looked like they had
Hmm.
scrambler, um, because it all originated, the gene originated from Oz.
Hmm.
I was the one that found the gene and founded the gene and named the gene.
Okay.
But so I put two and two together, and we started comparing notes and animals, and sure enough, Chris had some incredible snakes
Yeah.
that were
Yeah.
scrambler as well. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's
So,
kind of the
That's
definitely.
what got me into the project was El Diablo at Daytona 2023 when I first seen it and started asking questions, and I couldn't help but just like look for every little scrambler complex I could get after that.
Yeah.
yeah.
There's no missing that animal. That's for sure. Like,
Yeah.
you
Well,
walk past it, you're gonna see it.
there isn't, and the thing is, they just absolutely shine. I mean, they shine and they keep shining and they get shinier. As far as the pop of the color, and I'm all about orange. I chose orange as a color. Uh, Hi, Nikki. To It's just the color I love.
Yeah.
I did a podcast a few days ago about it, and they said, "Why did you choose orange?" And orange to me represents fire, and
Hmm.
fire to me represents the oldest thing we know as humans. We are. It is within our DNA.
Yeah.
Fire, because fire
Commu-
is what
Communally and food, right?
and survival, like being
Yeah.
able
Exactly.
to move to different parts of the world and be able to live because of fire.
Hmm.
So, and when you take people, if you're having a fire in the backyard or something like that, and people are sitting around the fire pit, nobody's looking at each other, everybody's staring into the fire and
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
right? Because it's captivating. So that's kind of why I went with orange, and then to stumble upon a gene that absolutely magnifies that color,
Yeah,
eureka, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely there's a lot of questions coming up in chat, and I think that like we talked about a little bit before we came on, questions that most everybody has is how do we ID the single gene? Like you said, it may not jump out at you in a clutch.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take a look at it,
Mhm.
and maybe kind of get your idea or your like how you would explain how we would ID this from any other animal in the clutch that may have any kind of aberrancy or missing.
You know, l- I don't think the normal stands out enough that people, yeah, as far as the single gene scrambler, I don't
Mhm.
believe it stands out enough that people can go, okay, that's a scrambler. It's like the
Okay.
yellow belly. You
Mhm.
either know how to identify them or you don't. I find it very easy to identify yellow bellies, but I've seen
Yeah.
people have yellow bellies. They're not yellow bellies, or
Yeah.
they've got 6 yellow bellies in front of them, and they're going, "Are these yellow bellies?" And I go, "Yeah, they're." Here's the telltale signs. I don't believe the scrambler has that telltale sign that is 100% definite it's a scrambler. Now you start putting it into different genes, and Orange Dream was the original one that I started seeing it in the most, because I apologize, I don't have a lot of snakes that don't have Orange Dream in them.
Yep.
Now when you look, um so for example, yeah, you have a picture there. There's an Orange Dream and there's an Orange Dream Scrambler.
Yep.
It's so it looks more like the normal
Mhm.
a single gene. You see the pattern, the way the pattern is, and that it is a pattern mutation. It's also a color mutation, but the
Right.
color doesn't come out until you cross it into the right snakes. And
Now,
some. Mhm.
this animal here that is labeled Orange Dream Scrambler, is that also fire or no?
No, that's not
No,
fire.
that's not fire. Okay.
No,
Okay.
that's just Orange Dream Scrambler. Yeah, if it
Okay.
was fire, it would
Mhm.
have more of an orange head.
Okay, so that's how you would delineate
Yeah.
in that combo specifically.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
also noticed it seems to Orange Dream Scrambler also seems to take away the whites that come up the side on the Orange Dream and turn them black.
Yeah. 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 They do. And
That's
you
pretty cool.
also notice that the last third of the snake, you're starting to see pattern joining.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of wiping.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's very evident in when we start adding calico and fire to it as well.
I got a couple pictures of that too. I just didn't want to
Yeah,
cycle through
there's
with you.
definitely some stuff like that.
This is the Super OD Fire
That's the
Yes,
original one and
Scrambler.
another
the
one.
Right.
Yep.
original one and another one, yeah, a
Yep.
byproduct. And you can see again the last third of the snake, the pattern is starting to join together. It's also, I mean, looks like a desert ghost. It's so clean.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, it's incredible how
I
clean it
think
is.
we actually have a comparison of that
Of
somewhere.
what? I don't believe there's a Desert Ghost combo in there.
I thought we had a comparison. I apologize.
Nope, not in here. Not that I remember.
I
Um,
thought I brought one out with me, but I'm not seeing it right now.
no.
I think I forgot to bring it down. Yeah. But yeah, I've got some Desert Ghost Scramblers. They're pretty cool.
You had a picture on that website where you had a side by side.
Oh yeah, I didn't put it in there, or I didn't see it.
Okay.
A
It was the
side by
Desert
side.
Ghost combo right next to the Scrambler combo.
Oh, okay. All right. That was one of the pictures I sent you, or you had?
that we
Brian
had.
Brian pulled it off of a website, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, I could always, when you're running your ads in the middle of the podcast, I can always go and
Yeah.
run and grab one.
Brian, can you pull up the one that I had it on?
Yes, I'm sorry. I apologize.
No worries. You're just clicking all over the place, crazy town. Yay, that one. So this is Orange Dream Scrambler also,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
nothing else. And so this one, I can really see that pattern, like from the original one popping through, and that maybe possibly why Orange Dream combos look so crazy with it, because it seems like they kind of intensify each other.
Yep. Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
And okay, so have you found Orange Dream to be the most reactive, and that's why you've stayed with it, or did you just have a lot of it in your collection, or?
Oh, I have a lot of it in my collection. I mean, it was,
Mhm.
my base gene to get as many orange snakes as possible. But I found it very, very reactive to calico and orange stream
Yes,
in particular.
absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
when I started seeing, and obviously with piebald. I don't know if did I send you a picture of just a um, piebald scrambler without orange
Yes.
Yeah.
stream?
Yep, that's coming up in a bit, I think.
Okay.
1 second.
All right.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
try to set it up. I try to set it up so we don't have to jump all over the place like this.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, scrambler piebald.
It's okay.
And
Yes,
a
there
lot
it
of people, critics out there are saying, well, no, it's just an extreme orange dream. It's
is.
tied in with the orange dream gene. And well, it's not. I mean, that is,
That's
there's
another
more.
thing I heard, that somebody had said that you yourself had hypothesized that Scrambler was the high part of High Orange Dream. I don't know if
No,
that's true.
I
No.
never
Well,
said that.
good. Let's squash it.
Never
Yes.
said that.
There it is.
When they started producing high intensities, and there's a lot of
Mhm.
people that are, still labeling orange dream, the really orange ones, as high intensity, and Chris has been
Mhm.
working with them as well.
Mhm.
Um, uh, I'm not as sold on the fact that there is an extra high intensity gene.
Okay.
I think it's as a result, A, they could be scramblers, or
Mhm.
B, just, a part of line breeding that intensifies the colors.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like we were talking about earlier, we had looked at the different examples of the single gene that we had.
Uh-huh.
And when you were like, hold on, I have one that's kind of somewhere in the middle there. And so I'm wondering if that kind of is like through selection over time, because even when we looked at your original male and that later on animal, even though they're
Mhm.
the exact same combo, you can see where you were selecting for things, and you had darker blacks, and like it was more reduced in the back, and like just as you were working it, it was getting
Mhm.
cleaner and darker. At least it looked that way to me. Um, but for you to have that single gene that kind of split them in the middle, I guess, do you want to bring that up for me, Brian?
The comparison.
Yeah, let's do that. So, one of the things that we always do when we do this show is we try to start at the bottom and build up, because I feel like that's the easiest way for people to learn to identify
Mhm.
and see things in combos. So I always try to get a single gene to look at. And so obviously we have your single gene here on the right hand side, and on the left
Mhm.
hand side we have the single gene from Chris. And I got that off of a video where Chris is doing ID for the single gene itself.
Mhm.
And when we looked at that earlier, you said, "Hey, I have something that looks a little closer to that now," and it is kind of a little in the middle, because like
Middle.
yours in the beginning is definitely more banded, almost not banded, but banded and jumbled on the sides, but it's crossing over the dorsal, whereas Chris's examples are more that kind of stark dorsal with the blobs down the center.
Mhm.
Do you think that that is a just a different expression? Do you think there might be a different gene in there causing that? Have you seen any genes cause this with your
Well,
base gene, or?
when I look at Chris's snake, and it
Mhm.
has a lot of alien heads. I
Yes.
do have, for example, some Scrambler fires that are very alien head and very, very spotted. Okay.
Okay.
And it's
Okay.
in a fire.
Mhm.
Um, and I believe it's the Scrambler is what's doing it. But
Yeah.
I also think that, when we've been breeding, base morphs and in particular normals,
Mhm.
you find the ones that are covered in alien heads, you find the ones that are hardly, are more reduced pattern and whatever,
Absolutely, yes.
that
Mhm.
they're not, a blade or something like that. That's just what they are. They're going to pass those genetics on regardless.
Mhm.
So I think, what might have, I always steer more towards reduced pattern snakes as
Mhm.
opposed to busier snakes.
Mhm.
So hence my snake on the right comes from my stock, which is
Yeah.
more reduced pattern, and Chris's might, come from a completely different line.
Right.
So that's
Okay.
going to have an impact as well. I
Okay.
cannot say 100% that either of these snakes are Scrambler. I can say
Okay.
they are a product, but if I breed my, super OD, hypo, pied, super Scrambler, everything's going to come out OD. So I can't get a normal,
You can't
right?
split it out.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Now, has
you know.
anybody that you know of started back at the space gene? Because I mean, you guys got pretty far pretty quick. It seemed like you were a couple years in. You had a super scrambler hypo piebald.
Hmm.
Um, has anybody gone back to either of these base genes that you know of and like bred them to try to get the same kind of like original look to like kind of like quote unquote prove it out? Or I mean,
It's now the snake on the right there I still have. He's I'm gonna say 22 at this
mhm.
point.
Ooh,
I
wow.
Okay,
I can breed him.
yeah,
But again, I I really focus on producing the absolute best I can possibly produce. And if I'm, just going to be doing experimental breedings, um, then it's kind of, do I want to do that?
yeah, understandable. Yeah, because it'd be
Mhm.
basically like going backwards in your project when you already have things that are a lot but beyond this animal. But I just didn't know if it had happened at all. Um, Leviathan says here, Mark, we had talked about the high part of high OD and Scrambler stuff before. You had said that previously you think they could be the same. Did something happen that made you change your opinion?
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, I'm not 100% sold on high intensity. I've never labeled anything high intensity. It
Hmm.
could be Scrambler and it could be another gene. I don't know,
Okay.
unless there's a test for it. I don't know.
I don't think
Has
so.
anybody made just a super scrambler alone that you're aware of?
I don't know. No, I haven't. I
Mhm.
haven't. No, not
Okay.
at this point. I'd like to try
Mhm.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we have some other combos. Yeah, I think that, let's see. I heard higher D is not testing because it might be a different gene at play. Hmm. So that's interesting. I don't
And
know
it
anything
could be
about that.
Scrambler or a
Yeah,
different thing, Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
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 I mean, I know I've bought snakes from Oz that
Mhm.
he has labeled as high intensity. And
Mhm.
I said, "Okay, I'm buying this I'd like to buy the snake, but I'm letting
Mhm.
you know I think it's Scrambler, just so
Okay.
to be upfront,
Okay.
in
Yeah.
case he goes, well, geez, I'd like to keep it then, or whatever." And I've bought them, and I'm 100% convinced they're Scramblers
Okay.
and not high intensity that he thinks it is. So,
Gotcha.
So this is Calico. Yeah, I think this is our first
so
Calico example. Super Orange Stream Calico Fire Scrambler.
no, that is not Calico. Sorry.
No, it's not.
Oh,
Okay.
No. No,
I
I
thought it said
probably look.
calico.
That is a Super Orange Dream Fire Scrambler. That is possibly a Super Scrambler.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and you can
And
see the difference.
yeah, it reduces a lot more for sure, like
Yeah.
further up the body, because a lot of the what's labeled as single gene, I noticed that wiping happens in like the last third of the body,
Mhm,
where it preserves most everything up front. It might be
mhm,
reduced up front, but there's still pattern.
mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still have that male, and I think he's probably 4 years old now, and that's a
Mhm.
fairly recent picture that I,
Okay.
took of him, yeah. Yeah, so he might be super.
Okay. So he's not in rotation yet.
No.
Okay.
I've look, I've got some
So
pretty
much.
yeah, it's hard to, and again, this year I'm trying to tone it down a little bit as far as numbers,
Hmm.
so I'm just not, going crazy, just breeding everything, so and I've got other snakes like him that I'm gonna be breeding, so.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so here's another example, same kind of thing. We have preserved pattern up front. It is pushed up a little bit on the sides, but towards the back it just kind of ends up wiping it and getting just
Mhm,
kind of fractured.
mhm.
Which I really liked. It says high OD and OD test the same. RGI believes that the different is phenotype. I don't know if that's correct unless something's changed, because last I heard, which was I think Thursday last, they were having some Orange Dream not test as Orange Dream, and they were trying to figure out what that was.
Are you
That could have
talking
changed by now.
are
I'm
you talking
sorry,
about
I was talking
Steven?
Leviathan. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
talking about Steven.
yeah. Well, he
Yeah.
he, we had a conversation that he had a snake, and
Hmm.
he had it tested that he thought was correct me if I'm wrong, Steven, you thought was Super Orange Dream, and when it came back, it did not have, 2 Orange Dream genes to it, but it looked
Hmm.
Super Orange Dream.
Okay.
So, what was that other gene?
Okay.
They don't know. They don't have a test for Scrambler yet, so it could have been
No.
Scrambler.
And
Mhm.
that's going to prove fairly difficult because we have super scramblers, but they also all seem like they have multiple other genes in them, and some of them
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
we don't
Yes.
have a test for calico yet. And since a lot of if we don't have like base gene super scrambler, it makes it really hard to create a test for it. Additionally, we have the Mandarin moment people who see something that's scrambler-esque and just like throw it up on Morph Market and call it scrambler. I call
Oh,
that
I'm
the
sure
Mandarin moment.
the Mandarin moment.
Yeah, because that's what happened to Mandarin, like everybody had Mandarin all of a sudden, even
Oh,
though
I see, I see. So
yeah.
everybody well, what I find in this industry and any industry, any livestock industry is, you see what you wanna see,
Mhm. Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm all about somebody else looking at my stuff because I definitely can have the rosy glasses on. Like,
And, I mean, in a lot of cases, especially with Scrambler, I didn't see it until it
okay.
just became more evident, and other people were commenting and saying, there's got to be something else. And then I started working with it more and crossing it and so on, and then eventually producing what I thought was the super that did end up proving to be a super. So,
Okay, Steven said he just talked with Ben yesterday, so that's up to the moment news.
all right. And who's Ben?
Ben at RGI.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. And I remember the picture that Steven showed me. Um, but who's that? I know all about rose-colored glasses. Okay, cool.
Patricia. Yeah. I always make fun of her because like she'll have me looking at her stuff and she's like, I think it's a this, 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 and this. And I'm like, I think it's a this. And she's like,
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah. We all get caught up in that. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all
I mean,
wishful thinking.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, we
Especially
all
when
want to have the
people
best
cut
stuff.
eggs and they look in and they go, "It's a this, 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 and this," and I'm like, "How can you possibly know?" I have that snake right here.
I
I
love
was
that snake.
I was gonna
No,
show it.
this doesn't have Orange Dream in it, or correct?
Oh
This is
yeah.
Cypress Fire Leopard, it said.
Okay. Um, Is that what I sent that to you? Okay.
That's what I said.
Cypress Fire Leopard OD.
Oh,
Okay.
I skipped the OD,
Yeah.
or I
Oh,
didn't have it.
definitely OD. Do you want to see it live?
I would love to see
Yeah.
it. I mean, show me
Okay.
that beautiful, roll the beautiful bean
Okay.
footage.
I got to go back to boot that
Oh,
thing again. That's the. There we go. And let's see if it pops up now. Is my. Oh, there we go. Okay. We'll switch over.
nice. That's not a small animal. Like, what is he, like 600,
No.
800 grams?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah. Glowing. It's amazing.
That is crazy.
It
Yeah.
is. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Now I'm looking at it here on the monitor, and it is a
Mhm.
little brighter that
Yeah.
you're looking at it because of the lights and whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, it's
Yeah.
you can kind of tell that
Yeah.
it's pretty.
That's crazy clean. Crazy
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So with in combos, like such as a combo like this one, um,
hmm
and how would you suggest that somebody pick that has Scrambler, or is that just your time in the game working this gene telling you that?
Well, it's the time in the game, but also, I mean, look at again the
Yeah.
last third of the
Yeah.
snake. It just the
Mhm.
patterns all blending in and kind of disappearing, and also the crisp, contrast of this snake
Yeah.
is just insane.
Yeah, it looks like somebody took a Sharpie to him, just like boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, it's
Crazy.
incredible.
Yeah.
And it looks like it could be again desert, desert
Yeah.
ghost combo,
I
right?
think I would even say it probably would look better than a Desert Ghost combo like this, because the Desert Ghost combo would probably lose some of those blacks. They would kind of wash out a little bit over time.
Now I'm going to show you one without fire.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the one without fire.
Okay.
Fire adds a lot.
Fire adds a lot. Yeah, fire is a good cleaning gene for sure, especially with
yeah.
Orange Stream. Like,
Yeah.
no questions. If you have Orange Stream, you want to have some fire in there for sure. And
It's
if you want to add to it,
super reactive with Scrambler, it seems like.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And again, you're getting that really reduced, clean, joined pattern all the way down, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Very nice. You want to see some more, or?
Sure. Show us some
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna go to, this is a piebald Java yellow belly
Oh, wow.
scrambler. Okay,
Oh wow.
and you can see the effect of yellow belly for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
but you can also see the effect of what Scrambler does.
Have that you know of, has anybody tried Scrambler pieds with high white pieds and the reaction of it?
I don't know. I mean, most of my pieds are not, my regular pieds are not, they're medium white to high white, and
Yeah.
I would get, the different. Now I'm going to show you this is a lavender piebald Java scrambler. Again,
Now
you can see how the pattern is. I'm gonna.
the Java is a dark gene, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that really much here, I don't believe. I think some people have it here, but it's not really a lot of it around that I've seen, because I have looked it up and I haven't found much. Somebody said they're getting hypnotized because you're spinning the snake in a circle.
Yes.
Buy Scrambler. Buy Scrambler.
Send me $10,000 for this snake. Yeah. I don't know. I might, like my overhead light, I might turn that off. Just
Okay.
to see if we can get So I'll have to take my mic off here. So
It may add a little more depth to the color in the animal. It's a tiny bit blown out, being
Okay.
lavender.
Man, just like low white pieds are just where it's at.
Yes, absolutely.
better?
It's coming around.
Actually,
coming around.
it's-
Yes.
It's getting better by the second.
Yeah. At first it was like, no, I hate this, but now it's focused in.
Did a little bit of light correction.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're getting,
no,
we're
that
getting
loo-
a lot
that
more
looks-
of the rich. We're getting the richness of that orange now.
That looks.
See, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was exactly wondering, Jason. Like, if you were to do, say, like a black pastel yellow belly scrambler pied, how much pattern would that bring back?
Has anybody done that? Do we know?
I don't
A
know.
which? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. What? would you
Just
say?
as an example, like a black pastel yellow belly scrambler pied.
Like
You
to
know
add
how much
pattern
pattern
back
that
is
would
what we're
bring
looking
back.
for.
Yeah. I don't know. I can show you.
Now you have your marching orders. You got to do that next so we can see it.
Yeah. I'll get on that one.
Just put it on your notes.
Yeah. I'm trying to find. Okay, here's a. What we got here? Lavender Black Pastel Java
Mm-hmm.
Orange Dream Scrambler.
Ooh. Man.
That almost like came out like a blackhead leopard lav, like where it's got all that striping.
Yeah, there's
'Cause,
no
I mean,
leopard
it
in
kept a
this.
crazy, yeah, kept a crazy dorsal.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
is wild.
Yeah. It's still not capped. I mean, the colors aren't as blown out as it was with the upper light on there, but it's way more yellow in
Yeah,
light.
lavenders
this.
are hard.
Oh, yeah.
Lavenders are so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
You like taking a picture of a lavender, you may as well just give up. Like, yeah, it's so hard.
They are. They are hard.
They're really difficult.
I'm gonna show. Yeah, this is a bigger girl. So she's a what is she? 23. Super Orange Dream Calico Fire Scrambler. I don't know if you
And she has just literally no pattern at the back.
No,
and
at
she's
the
just
back.
like-
Yeah.
she's like, I just forgot. Forget it. I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gave up.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's probably around 1,200 grams, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a healthy looking lady. She's
Yeah.
good.
She's very well.
Yeah.
But you can see, you come back here and it's
Mhm.
the pattern's just gone. And here
Yeah.
you're starting to see it here wash out, and then it just
Mhm.
completely washes
kinda
up. But
disappears.
this is a piebald again, right? So very, very
Oh, that's a visual pied.
oh, wait a minute. No, sorry. I'm wrong.
Okay, I was
It's not
like, wait a
pied.
second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
Super
dang,
Orange
I held on
Dream,
to-
yeah. Super Orange Dream Calico Fire Scrambler.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
And now this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
That's a super scrambler?
Yeah. Super OD hypo piebald super scrambler.
That is
Oh.
that patterning is crazy. It's just
Yeah.
it's almost like a bone outline, kind of like
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
the reverse of
exactly.
a dorsal. It's like I give up. Like it's like you just get the outline and the brighter color in the center, and then it smears down the side. That's amazing. And see that you can like almost though like take those puzzle pieces like from that single gene and kind of like see where that kind of wants to come up and almost band across, but then it's like pushing down instead. That's really pretty.
that's
And
so
this
wild.
is one without hypo. So, but it's not a
Okay,
super scrambler.
Same combo.
No,
Oh,
not a
not
super
super.
scrambler. No.
Okay.
This isn't a super scrambler. No.
Wow.
Yeah, it really whacks out the pattern on the piebalds for sure, and they keep a lot of black. It looks like too.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's like
And-
super dark and rich.
Yeah. And very rich. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's contrast is everything. I feel like when we're trying to make new, like any combos, is getting that keeping that contrast in and keeping it in, for the long haul, so we don't have like brown snakes, 2 days later.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Oh,
see, like black
absolutely.
and orange is that perfect contrast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really nice. That's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the same thing though. We have that kind of like last third, half to a third, that's just kind of like blends out.
Gone.
Now, if you just have a scrambler pied, I think we looked at one earlier. But
Yeah.
do we see that same kind of pattern without the orange stream too? Like, or because
Oh.
I thought it was more high pattern when it didn't have the orange stream. Is that correct?
No, I don't think so. I
No.
don't think
Okay.
so. No.
I think
No.
the pattern's similar, kind of, just the orange stream just wipes it out more.
Gotcha.
Not as erratic, I guess.
Well, I think
with
it's
the
a little
orange
more
stream.
contrasty with the orange stream
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
than without the orange stream. But
Yeah, because then you don't just have a brown background with pretty black marks on it.
Which is
Yeah.
way more busier with just the scrambler pied.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It seemed like it just got like a lot busier.
I've got, this is a clown orange stream, red stripe, pastel, scrambler, vanilla, I believe.
Ooh.
No,
All right, the
it's,
camera doesn't like that one.
yeah, no kidding, eh?
The camera's like, nope, you can't see this one. Sorry. It's really difficult. Are you
Wonder
able
if
maybe
it-
to bring him a little bit closer to the camera? Maybe.
We do that.
Whoa, there we go. It's never easy. Ah, there we go. Now we can see him. I'm sorry. What is this combo again, please?
Clown orange stream, red stripe, pastel, scrambler, vanilla.
Vanilla. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
The vanilla and the orange stream is what is causing that, like that. The word that I don't want to say, creamy color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this combo,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
I think it looks nice.
powerhouse. I think it's
Yeah.
a powerhouse. And
Super powerhouse.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's a nice soft soft color combo, and it's a clown that's not brown, so it's when.
No, I will say it's more yellow in real life as it is on camera for some reason. So I don't know
Okay.
why. It's so hard to capture these animals. Yeah, hurricane would be cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Hurricane would be cool. Let's see what else I got here. This is a piebald hypo Java orange dream scrambler. So there's no this is not super
Man.
dream.
I really like what that did a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, how it drags down off the dorsal and wants to connect them together. Like
You said
it's
that's
nice.
hypo?
Yes. Yeah, I believe. Hypo. Yeah, hypo. Now, this is so not a typical piebald pattern, right?
No.
Yeah, no.
I mean, piebald are piebald generally are more like what you see there at the back.
Yeah, definitely the two stripes with some
Yes.
color around it. Yeah.
Exactly. But
Yeah.
this stuff here, that's all scrambler.
That's wild.
Yeah, I like how it's dragging it down off the dorsal and trying to connect it together like that, like little lightning bolts. It's cool.
It just reminds me of like a spine trying to outline the bones almost.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the combos being the way they are and being as recognizable as they are, do you believe that it's possible for somebody to just kind of like happen upon an animal, say scrolling on Morph Market, and find something that is 100% they know it's Scrambler, and if that does happen, or has that happened where you feel like people are doing that and bringing them to you, or because I've heard people saying like, oh well, so and so picked up this animal because they thought it's Scrambler, and then they're just like start being like, oh, it's Scrambler, and that's that.
I know I've gone through Morph Market and found scramblers and
Yeah.
actually ended up buying them. You know,
Nice.
not
There you
all of them, not everyone
Right.
that I see. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
I
Yeah.
was at Tinley and I saw some, scramblers on tables, and I said, had a discussion. Where did the parents come from? Blah blah blah. And I said, I
Mhm.
suspect it could be Scrambler as well. So yeah,
It's
they're out there
floating.
now.
So quite a bit.
If somebody wants to send me pictures, I will never ever say, look, 100% this is Scrambler. I'll give my, I think it might be, but I'm not going to say
Okay.
100% because, you just don't know by pictures either, because the
Right.
color
Right.
could be off, and, the way people take pictures, it could be different. So,
That's
yes.
fair. That's fair.
Hmm.
So you have your bearings right now. It seems like with your combos. So is there somewhere you're going next with it? Is there a gene that you would like to see with it that you haven't seen yet? I haven't seen a lot of clown. I didn't expect you to have a clown. How is it affecting clown generally if you're working a bit of clown in it?
Well, I have some that I bought from Oz that I thought
Hmm.
were Scrambler. I have, let's see, maybe I have them yet right here. This is what I consider to be a clown orange dream red stripe Scrambler.
So
And
no
again,
inchy there.
no inchy at all.
Wow, crazy.
No. And again, you can see how, um, whoops, the back is more reduced back here, right? Let's get him in frame. And you can see the red stripe with the flaming coming up from the sides as well. But yeah, no inchy in there whatsoever.
Okay.
So you're
Okay.
going to get a
Excellent.
much more reduced pattern snake and clown.
Yeah.
These were produced last year, very late in the season. Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I just haven't seen a lot of clown combos, so I was kind of wondering what it looked like with that. So that's definitely interesting. But you said it has red stripe in there also, so that's bringing
Yeah.
in those rusty tones and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Tennessee constrictors? We are watching
don't know.
comments.
Trying to figure it out.
I scrolled back and I couldn't figure out what it was either.
I'm not sure.
It's hard to watch.
Let us know. We got to run the. We're gonna try to run the sponsor video.
Yeah, go
real
ahead,
quick.
give it a try. Let's do it.
All right.
Break. It's deep. Feeling weak. Need nothing.
Passion.
G forever.
Some are born with it, others chase it their whole lives. At MCBR, animals aren't just a business, they're our legacy. Driven by obsession, defined by quality. At MCBR, the passion drives us, the quality defines us. Our motto is simple: live your dream.
There we go.
Thank you, Josh.
Yep.
Our first and only sponsor right now. Anybody else want to step up? Let me know.
It's interesting. So the show's called Morph Map.
Yeah.
Yes.
I registered the domain morphmap, morphmap.com and morphmap.ca a few years ago.
Crazy.
And I just released it. It was before there was really any genetic testing. But I thought, if there's going to be genetic testing, a cool name for a business would be Morph Map.
Great minds.
There you
I
go.
agree.
So I don't know. Go out and get that Morph Map domain because I gave it away. I gave it up.
There you go.
I guess Tennessee Constrictors is gone. Maybe I don't know what was happening.
I think that maybe it had something to do with the side light, and they wanted to see the animals from the top light instead.
Oh,
I don't have.
That's the only thing I can think of
I can't
when
see it.
when the light switched.
Oh, gotcha.
But it is what it is, right?
What light? The top light without a side light? Is that what they
Yeah,
were wanting?
I'm only
Yeah, I guess
guessing.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It looks like I'm scrolling up and it says something about the side light and the top light. I
Yeah,
guess
your
it is
side light
blowing
is
out.
blowing out the balance. Yes, all lights was better. Yeah, but the all lights, it really magnified the color and it wasn't accurate in my opinion. So I didn't want to continue with
No,
that.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
For sure.
like I was saying, is there anything else that you where you're heading with it, or people were saying they'd like to see it in Mandarin? Have you done it in Mandarin? Do you have plans to do it in
It's
Mandarin?
funny because Mandarin looks to be one of the most orange genes out there, and I don't have it yet.
Oh,
I'm a
really?
fan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can only be in so many projects, so many lanes
Agree.
at once, and
Mm-hmm.
I I, I don't want to be bouncing all over the place and
Mm-hmm.
starting a new project, and you know, how much longer am I going to be able to do this? I don't know. That's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where my wife is she's into the travel business and she wants me to travel more with her, and I want to travel more with her. And you've got all these animals, it just ties you down all the time. Right now I do have some friends that look after stuff for me, but I just can't get into every project. I'm picking my lane and staying in it, pretty much. I mean, a lot of the stuff, uh, Scrambler Jag, that's going to be hot. That's
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
gene I'm working with is the Jag.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that's a good gene. I like
That
that gene.
yeah,
that gene is incredible, and it's really flying under the radar still.
I have a Scrambler Jag, a big girl, and she is one of the brightest yellow snakes that I have. Now, she would not fit on this display.
Oh, gotcha.
She's huge, and
Okay.
no, unfortunately, she doesn't have follicles this year. She just didn't, you know. It doesn't look like she's going to go for me, but she's one of my favorite snakes. But she
I
is
would love to see that. It's
she
sad that
is
she
a
won't fit on
Scrambler
there.
Jag.
I
Yeah,
think that'd be
no,
such an
she's
interesting
nice.
look for sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I have. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to go and check. I mean, I've got so many snakes; it's hard to keep track of all of them. But yeah, I really, really like the Jag gene and what it's doing for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
want to pull up one of the pictures, the one that's on right now.
Okay. Yep. I love that
And
picture.
Mm.
the snake on the right, it's just completely, absolutely mind blowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I sold that one. That went down in the States. It's just, and that's one of the snakes that made me go, "What? What's going on here?" Right? And
Yeah.
like, yeah, I agree with you. That's one of my favorite all-time snakes, right there. And it doesn't have fire in it.
Right.
If it had fire, the head would be orange. So,
It's just incredible, and how the white is almost dragged along the whole body with this one.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. That went. I'm gonna say California, someplace like that. The guy was over the moon when he opened that one up. So
Oh, they left.
Oh, well, we apologize, Tennessee.
Yeah. It
Wasn't
wasn't
intentional,
purposeful.
I promise.
It's really hard to have a conversation and read at the same time.
It really
I have a very hard time reading comments and talking at the same time. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
kind of the same thing.
It is difficult. We try to do the best we can, but
Yeah, yeah.
There's
it's not easy.
something about the hatched scrambler that doesn't look like your scrambler, and somebody else said that it's not scrambler because it doesn't look like your scrambler. I'm not sure.
There's the comment right here.
Okay, Tennessee has Scrambler that look different than Marks, and nobody wants to hear that. There's Scrambler, and one right here doesn't have all the answers. Yeah, I'd be interested in seeing the snake from Tennessee. But again, I can't say with 100% accuracy, what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hard to know. Hard to know.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully they'll catch the playback or come back and see if we listen to them finally, and they'll hear that comment and they'll send it over to you.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you also addressed it in the beginning of the podcast too about how they can be different. You can't say for sure that one single gene is 100% a Scrambler single gene. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, all snakes are influenced by their line breeding and who their parents were, whether they were normals.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I started off, my breeding stock were all normal females. That's what they were, bred to a pastel male. And away you go.
Yeah.
What was that, Tommy?
They're telling me to check my Instagram. That he said he sent me pictures on Instagram, and I'm
Okay.
I'm checking it. And I don't see anything. So, like I said,
Check mine. I don't see nothing in mine either.
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
I've got Limey telling me I need to brush my hair. So that's my last. That's what he likes to say to me all the time. He's like, "Are you going to brush your hair before you go on the internet?" I'm like, "No."
I didn't brush my hair.
See, solidarity. That's what I like.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
get a
me
rag
either.
and shine the top of my head. That's what I do. That pretty
Not
much.
to get off topic, but I've also noticed that you're an amazing cook or chef, whichever you prefer.
I'll take cook because some of my favorite people that do cook food are cooks. They're not chefs. The Italian nonas that live in the kitchen and cook amazing food for their families and grandkids and whatever. Yeah, I love to cook. It's one of my biggest passions is cooking. Yeah.
Nice.
We had people over last night and they kept on going, you cook for us. And then I said, it makes me incredibly happy to be able to cook. I look forward to cooking all the time, different dishes, different flavors, from different countries and stuff like that.
I noticed it on your Facebook.
Yeah. I have a Instagram page called Snakes and Snacks, and it has pictures of snakes and also pictures of food that I cook. I
Well,
take pictures.
that's fun. My friend bakes bread and all that stuff, and his is snakes and bakes.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I believe I follow them and they follow me.
Travis,
I
yeah.
I haven't posted a lot of pictures of on that Instagram page lately, but what is it? I just don't think this is Canada linked. I have the old school goblin and the single gene don't fit the Canada genre. Okay.
I actually found the pictures, Brian, and I sent them to you in our group chat. I don't know if you can bring them.
Oh, that's the part I haven't crossed that bridge yet. I apologize.
Oh no! Can I share my screen? Screen layout.
Now, when he says, I don't think this is Canada linked.
I think he's saying he doesn't think it's from Canada.
Oh,
Goblin wasn't Ralph Davis? Man.
Yeah, I think Ralph Davis was Goblin. Yeah,
I think so too.
Yeah, but I mean, this is not a gene that originated in Canada. This is a gene that originated in the United States in Oz's collection. He just happened to send that snake to me, and then I started seeing these snakes come out, and then figured out that it was a standalone gene. So it's that's why when I see people in the States posting snakes, Chris, for example, I try to bring it to their attention, and they're the snakes they're working with originated in the United States. I mean, seriously, a lot of snakes have not been originated in Canada. Trust me, because when we started out, we had to buy snakes from American breeders primarily if we wanted anything of any, quality when it
Yeah.
came to genes and stuff like that. So, you know, yeah, I'd be interested. Tennessee, just send me a few messages and some pictures, and we'll chat about it privately.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
over here like
I see.
scrambling, literally. That's kind of funny, scrambling. I'm scrambling trying to figure out how to present them so you could see them.
I'm gonna have to have Mike walk me through it.
The scramblers
That
make
way I
me
know from now
scramble.
on.
Yeah. We'll let Tennessee and you connect, and hopefully that'll be good.
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions? Anybody in the chat? Brian, do you have questions? Is there
No, I
anything-
got to actually ask all my questions. I'm pretty
Nice.
satisfied.
Nice.
Yep.
I think I asked all of mine too. I don't know if anybody else has any questions.
Yep.
So
now
let
would
me
be the
ask.
time.
Let me ask you some questions. And can I
Yeah,
you
ask us some questions.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, Brian, what are your favorite genes you're working with right now?
Mandarin and Scrambler.
And where did you get your Mandarin stock from?
It originated from Brittany Gobble.
Oh, Brittany Gobble. Now, have you
Yes.
produced super Mandarins?
I haven't yet because I don't have any females that are big enough.
Okay. All right. And do you find that there's a lot of similarity in the Mandarin with Orange Dream, or is it very, very different? It almost looks like it has a different pattern as well, a much busier pattern. Orange Dream have a tendency to be a little bit more reduced, but are you finding it a busier pattern?
Yes. For the most, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I am. But the thing is my Mandarin, it's a Mandarin OD.
Okay. And
And I'm actually having a lot of trouble IDing the animals when they get into combos
okay.
without the Mandarin test. I got to do an elimination test with Orange Dream mostly, it seems like.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think
Well,
I think testing for everything is helpful for sure.
Yeah.
yeah. No, I think testing is great. We have Laurier University up here does some tests for us. For us to
Okay.
send tests to the United States, we actually have to get CITES because
Really?
Yeah, because they consider it a leather good, right? Even though
well,
it's not a leather good.
yeah, it's part of the snake that requires CITES. So, how about Scrambler in your Xanthic line? Yes, working on that. And yeah, I think it's going to be mind blowing.
I'm sure it will be.
That MJ line. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And what about you, Tommy? What do you work with?
Oh, I work with a little bit of everything. But right now, I have to say my main focuses are like as for recessives as monsoon and cryptic.
Okay.
And then paint. So, and then mixtures of not paint and monsoon because that's a waste, but like other recessive with monsoon and some other incomplete dominance, and definitely a lot of incomplete dominance in the cryptic stuff. I'm trying to do pure cryptic, which makes it really difficult because most people are just using kryptons, but I don't want to make clowns. So.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to make the whacked out patterns that cryptic makes. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, cryptic is a pretty cool gene.
Yeah, I like
Very,
it a
very
lot.
cool gene. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
I'm doing-
confusion as well.
Yeah, confusion's awesome. I have some an acid het cryptic het DG that should be siring some stuff this year. So
I don't
Okay.
regret getting rid of many snakes, but I do almost regret selling my confusion clown that I hatched out. It was such a great looking snake.
Yeah, they are beautiful. I don't have a confusion clown yet, but it's on my radar to get. Again, how much do I want to do? So,
Right.
all right. So, Brian, you brought up cooking. What do you like to eat?
I like seafood.
Okay.
I'm down in Florida.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I'm a big seafood fan. Mostly
Okay.
shellfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tommy, are you a foodie?
I was, but now I have alpha gal, so I can't be like I used to be. I used to like one of my favorite things when I traveled to other countries was to try to recreate their foods while I was there from stuff from their markets and eat it like cooking where I was. But ever since I have alpha gal, it's limiting a lot of the things that I can eat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is you?
It's a
I'm not-
tick-borne illness. It's a tick-borne illness that that makes you allergic to all mammal meats and all mammal products. So that's like milks, cheeses, any meat like steak, rabbit, anything with fur. I can't eat it. The only proteins I can eat are chicken and fish.
Okay.
And then I can't. And I also have to be careful with foods that have like high histamine. So I can't have a lot of fish because fish has high histamine in it. Because it messes me up. So
Now,
it's
when
a
you say
chronic
it's a
illness.
tick-borne illness, you were bitten by a tick?
Mm-hmm. It was
Yeah.
about 2 years ago now, and so ever since then, it's kind of really screwed my life up. I can't
Wow.
travel because I can't even smell meat. Like if I get the vapors from cooking meat, I have to carry an EpiPen for it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
And
really a
long-
weird thing
How long does it last? Like this illness?
for
Is it like Lyme
the rest of my
disease?
life. It's the rest of
Wow.
my life.
I've
Yeah,
never heard of that. That's
yeah. It's
awful.
It's an awful. It is. It's terrible because I mean, traveling and eating foods from other countries was my favorite thing. Like just being able to like buy things that I didn't know what they were and eat them. Like I liked it, but
I've done that.
yeah, it's fun. It's fun,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's ruined
What
it.
were some of your favorite countries to travel to?
I really loved. What was my favorite? Iceland's my favorite.
Okay.
For sure.
Ooh.
Japan was good. I liked Japan, but I'm kind of a boisterous person and I have a lot of tattoos, so Japan didn't like me very much.
Okay.
Big cultural difference.
Yeah, it's very culturally different. I mean, a woman with tattoos is not super popular there. And then I had men like yelling Yakuza at me in Japan.
Really?
So yeah.
Tennessee constrictors, just contact me on Instagram under Marcus Jane. I'm just answering the message there.
That's fine. You're
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so Japan, have you ever been to Thailand or Cambodia, Vietnam?
I haven't been over there. I've been to Australia and New Zealand, and I've been to South America, Ecuador. I've not been over like past Japan, honestly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, I've landed in Japan, but that's about it. Just a
hopping over.
connecting flight to.
It's an amazing place. It's amazing.
I'd love to go to Japan. I think I'm going to go next year, next April. I'm going to try and do that snake show.
I was fascinated with their organization. I mean, like even like the people's trash that was out by the street, like they had folded their trash up and like it was like in neat little things. Like the trash bags actually looked pretty, and I'm like, I don't know how you did that, but it was crazy.
Yeah, I think it would be a
amazing.
Fascinating country to go to.
It really is. It really is. Yeah,
Looking
you
forward
should
to
do
it.
it.
And
for
I
sure.
love Japanese food, so it's
I
still.
flew there for $50, so there was no way I wasn't going to go.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
Yeah, I'd go too.
Now, do you travel, Brian?
I don't. I work a lot.
Okay.
Like I'm a commercial roofer. I'm a foreman by trade.
Okay.
So a lot of my schedule is taken up. So when I do take vacations, I actually probably most of the time I just catch up on life most of the time when I take a vacation.
All right. Remember,
When I retire, I plan on it.
Well,
Do it now.
I always say you can have all the money in the world, but unless you travel, you'll never be rich.
I have traveled when I was just a little bit younger. I've only left the country once, and I went to Montreal, but that doesn't really count because I was living in upstate New York.
Right. Kind of close. Yeah.
Yeah,
Montreal's
like-
nice, though. I like
It's a rite of passage for upstate New Yorkers to cross the border when you turn 18.
Montreal. Right. Well, okay. We won't get into that, but I know exactly where you went.
Well, I'm 51 years old, so it was even,
Okay.
back then. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I know.
upstate New York, a rite of passage. That's what we called it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've heard all about that for sure. All right. Well, cool. I just wanted to
Yeah,
ask you guys a
awesome.
few questions. So,
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you again for coming on. If you can tell everybody where to find you and tell them not to email you too many pictures of snakes because you do have them.
yeah, well, I got Tennessee constrictors.
You got him already set.
He's all set. He'll get in touch
Good.
with me. Now, it is
Good.
Sunday night,
Excellent.
and it's almost my bedtime. So, I'll, if I don't get to them, I had a late night last night, late night.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I don't usually have. I mean, when you're 68 years old, I mean, I love life,
Yeah.
but I like my sleep too. So,
For sure.
Well, you look great too.
well, thank you. Thank you. So do you for your age.
Wow.
That's good.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. One more
Awesome.
question. What kind of music are you guys into?
Oh boy, I listen to everything other than reggae. I hate reggae, so we'll
All
just
right.
take reggae. Say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite
My
band,
playlist-
Tommy?
Favorite band? Right now, it'd have to be the favorite thing to listen to right now is like anything Skrillex. I like a lot of like techno.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Brian?
My playlist goes from everything from hip hop to classic rock to, I mean, just weird, really weird, complex metal.
Okay.
So I got a whole variety of stuff I listen to.
Cool. Cool. All right.
We're eclectic.
If I had to say a favorite band of all time, I'm going with Queen.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good
Great.
one.
Great band.
Yeah.
You can see what's where
Yeah.
no, right there. What's that?
Uh-huh. Pink Floyd.
Yes. Yeah. I'm a Pink Floyd fan.
Good
Huge
stuff.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. good
Okay.
stuff. Classic. Well,
Great.
thank you again, Mark, for coming
Well,
on. That's episode
thanks for
5
having
or
me on.
6. We're unsure.
We're not
Whatever
sure
one
either.
it is.
Yeah. And
We're
I'm sorry
unsure.
Chris couldn't join. I don't know what he was doing. He was probably listening to Pink Floyd. 'Cause he's a big fan as well. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll try to catch up with him later and
Yeah.
see what happened.
yeah, he's a great
All right.
guest to have on. So,
Yeah.
maybe bring him on.
Sad
by
that we missed
himself.
him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys. All right. Thank you
All
so
right.
All
much.
right.
Okay.
Take care.
Good night.
And
Take care.
have a
Night.
good day.
Yeah. Bye.
Morph Map, your sat nav to and through genes that slap. A panel of experts about to blab blab. Yeah, crack the code. Oh, morph mapping, hemipenes tapping, locks are happening. Pattern disruption, head effect blushing. Bright, clean, blushing. Dry, stripe, markers. Patternization, single head, double head, triple head, pause heads. If you like to bet, pattern explosion, blown apart, monsoon markers, polymorphism, pinstripe tax, exemptions, examples, exceptions, blushing, bandit, check that head stamp.